In this module, I will demonstrate the calculation of NPV, net present value, which is a capital budgeting technique via a financial calculator. The financial calculator, which is in simulator mode, in this particular case is the Texas Instruments BA2 Plus. I'm assuming a basic familiarity with the theory that is underlying the calculation of the NPV. A very quick overview is here. The net present value is the present value of inflows minus the present value of outflows. They can be thought of as revenue minus cost. And basically it is the discounted value of the future cash flows, and where T represents the number of time periods over which the cash flow happens, and R is the discount rate. Important to note is that the counter starts at T equals 0, because cost is often CF0, so that is something that is factored in the NPV calculation, not just the revenue but the cost, which the calculator accepts as CF0. Suppose we have a project L. The initial cost is minus 100, and it generates $10, $60, and $80 over the next 3 time periods, 1, 2, and 3. The foundation of the NPV is minus 100 is the cost. We cannot add 10, 60, and 80. We have to look at the discounted present values, which at a discount factor rate of 10% is 10 divided by 1.1 to the power 1, which comes to 9.09, 60 divided by 1.1 squared, which comes to 49.59, and so on and so forth. If you add it all up, the net present value in this case is $18.79. That could be 180,000 or 1.8 million. That's just the scale factor. NPVS is not applicable in this example. That is with the different cash flow line. Now to do it on a calculator, we need to enter the values of minus 100, 10, 60, 80, and 10 in the following buttons: CF0, CF1, CF2, CF3, and eventually I in the NPV function. So this is how we go about it. First you do second quit. It clears the screen. Hit CF. CF0 is minus 100. So enter 100 and toggle the plus minus here. Make sure you hit the enter button. Hit the down arrow. Once you have entered something, you'll notice that a little triangle appears. That means the item has been entered. That's important. Hit the down arrow. C01, which refers to CF1, is 10. Again hit enter. Hit the down arrow. Now you notice something called F, which we're not going to utilize in this case. For your curiosity, F refers to the frequency of the cash flows, and if you have more than one, you can enter that. So suppose you had 3 cash flows of $10, you could do 3, but right now we leave it at 1. Hit the down arrow again. C02 is 60. Notice I entered 6 point, so you just hit the back arrow to clear it out. 60, hit enter, the down arrow, and then 80, enter, down arrow. Now it's important, we have C04 at 0. Do not hit enter, otherwise they'll think that there's a 4th cash flow of $0. Hit the down arrow button, see what happens. F for the first time shows up as 0 as opposed to 1. That means there's 0 cash flows of $0. Again, do not hit enter, hit the down arrow button, and you'll notice you'll come back to the start of your cash flows. It's important to check what you've entered, because garbage in, garbage out. CF0 is minus 100. That means your initial investment was $100. Minus is not a bad thing. In a lot of finance, actually, it means that the cash is going away from you, which is usually means an investment. So you invested $100 in a project. After the first year, you get $10, then $60, and then $80. and then you come back once again to your initial screen. If you want to clear the screen, you can just hit the CEC button, which is clear entry clear. It does not erase the values which have been stored in the CF function key, under the CF function key. Now you hit NPV. There are basically two variables in NPV that the calculator accepts: I, which is your interest rate or discount factor, and NPV, which is the calculated output. How you know it's the calculated output is it says compute. Compute, by the way, refers to this button CPT. Now the interest rate that we are given in this problem is 10%. We need to know that when we calculate NPV. So we enter 10. You don't have to convert 10 to decimals. In this calculator, the percentage is what you see, what you get. So 10 is 10. Hit enter. This has been accepted as an entry in the memory of the calculator because of this little triangle here. Hit the down arrow. You get NPV. Hit the compute button and you'll be done. And that's 18.7829 with a star. Star means that is your final output, 18.78. And so this was a demonstration of how to calculate NPV using a financial calculator. This is Pank Agrawal, PhD Finance. Thank you.